Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the solar eclipse in Taurus collectively, and I'm really excited about it because this eclipse is going to be something else. But before we get started, I would just like to remind everybody that our workshop for next month, which is part of the workshop series that I do, is all about energy healing basics. So definitely make sure you get your tickets and sign up. It's going to be on May 4th. The link for tickets will be down below. I'm really excited about this because I feel like we need to look at energy healing from all areas, not just necessarily the most popular ones like forms like, angel healing, Reiki, and such and such. We need to look at energy healing from all aspects, and that's what we're going to cover for that workshop. It's going to be a 2-hour workshop. I'm really excited about it. So definitely make sure you get your tickets below. With that being said, we're going to get started on the breakdown for this solar eclipse in Taurus that's happening April 30th. So starting off, as we always do with the planetary positions, we have 2 stelliums going on. So we have the sun in Taurus, the moon in Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus as well. Mercury will be in Gemini and starting its preparation. Well, it would have already been in pre-shadow phase by this time, because Mercury will go into retrograde in May, and it will be there until June. So there is this Mercury retrograde energy because it's going to be retrograding in Gemini. That's pretty much starting off. So Mercury will be in Gemini. Venus, Mars, and Jupiter and Neptune will all be in Pisces. So it's a very much Taurus and Pisces energies, very much a stellium there. Then we have Saturn in Aquarius, and Pluto in Capricorn. Those are the planetary positions for the solar eclipse. Now, for the major aspects, the sun will be in conjunction to the moon, and the sun will also be in conjunction to Uranus. Both of these they're in the same sign, so they're in Taurus. So they're all these planets: the sun ruling the ego, your inner child; the moon ruling your emotional consciousness, your intuition; Uranus being the planet of chaos, being the planet of upgrades, revolution, evolution, all working and batting for the same team, making it a little bit complex, because even though these are working in conjunction to each other, they're working together. Uranus can be a little bit of a chaotic planet for the ego to deal with. So because Uranus have been transiting in Taurus for quite a bit and is going to be in Taurus for quite a bit, because generational planets just take longer to move from one sign to the other, Tauruses and Taurus placements have been going through a really big transformation within themselves, their energy, and their lives. There's just been going through a very deep transformation throughout this time. And so this eclipse is like a little icing on top of everything that's been going on with Taurus and Tauruses, okay, and Taurus placements as well. So there is a lot of inner child healing. There's a lot of foundational healing, because don't forget, Taurus is an earth sign. It is a fixed sign. So a lot of the things that Tauruses and Taurus placements have been very stubborn about letting go, stubborn about shifting or changing, are changing, because Uranus is like, you need to change that. So there's a lot, this big shifts happening in that regard within our foundational energy, especially when it has to do with the earth, climate change, and also the financial institutions, so banks and money as well. This is why you're seeing also a technological aspect to the way that money is kind of also coming through, the way that is manifesting, the way it's growing, also using collective energies, so like using stocks or crypto, etc., those things are becoming a lot more popular because Uranus's energy in the sign that rules finances and financial institutions. You have to think differently about the way that you get money, make money, and what your abundance energy looks like as well. So this solar eclipse is a great eclipse to getting your shiz together, okay, when it comes to how you are grounded in your values, because that is what the second house, that is what Taurus rules: your values, your possessions. Why do you want to possess what you want to possess? What are your larger intentions, and why do they mean what do they mean to you? Why is it meaningful? Why is it holding, something that you want to ground within your energy and within your space? So things to think about, okay? We also have, the moon is also in conjunction with Uranus, because again, they're all in the same sign. So emotionally, there's a lot of intuitive downloads as to which direction you should head to, especially when it comes to finances. And I would look at transit wise where Taurus falls for you in, you know, your chart, so that way you can see what's going on there. And how the planets are transiting as well. We also have Mercury in a trine with Pluto. Mercury in a trine with Pluto is definitely a lot of mental transformations and mental breakthroughs happening. But because Pluto, again, is in Capricorn, Mercury is in Gemini right now, there is definitely, there's a lot of faster downloads in relation to ancestor work, in relation to generational inheritances, in relation to our legacy, our career, what we want to do, our intentions, and how we kind of stay on path, on task for what it is that we want to do. So also make sure you incorporate that into your spell work if you will be working with the eclipse for spell work. Eclipses generally are, you know, times where ancestrally, depending on what culture you practice, they were seen as bad omens because the energy is very, very intense. So for the most part, they were avoided when it came to manifestations. Instead, the different, you know, spirits, gods, goddesses, deities were honored differently. So they were given offerings so that, you know, even though they can feel obviously that the energy is intensified, so they would give them offerings so that, you know, they wouldn't reap negative things. Okay, let's just say that. So it's very, very, very layered as well. So this is a really good time to get really clear-headed with yourself, the solar eclipse, to get really clear-headed, get back into grounding, get back down to your values, really rethink, replot, replan, okay? Re-strategize. That's really what this solar eclipse is about, re-strategizing. We also have Venus in conjunction with Jupiter and Venus in conjunction with Neptune, and because they're all in Pisces, okay? So there is this kind of like working together energy, because also Jupiter is in conjunction with Neptune. So there is like all of these planets, especially the ones that have and are holding the stelliums, especially with the Piscean energy, there is a focus on your spirituality. There's a focus on your creativity, your expression, your reflections during this time. You might want to take some time out to just kind of sit with yourself, take a spiritual bath, and that might be the ritual that you do, if you do any. You might want to just hold space for your spirits, or, you know, be very, very gentle with yourself during this time because of the way that the solar eclipse is set up, the way that the energy intensifies. Let's not forget that solar eclipse energy, instead of lasting 2.5 days, like full and new moons and every regular moon does, full like eclipse energy lasts about 2.5 weeks. So it's kind of important to understand that as it moves and then it goes, well, you know, it will end up going into being a lunar eclipse because it is a eclipse season. It is a very intense time. The energy is very, very intense. There's a lot of shifts, a lot of breakthroughs that will happen during this time. So it's best not to force it. It's best to kind of try to navigate it the best way you can, but it's also a really important time to focus on grounding, healing, especially with what's going on socially, because even though like the energy is very focused on our emotional energy, on our grounding, when I tell you Mercury retrograde is already pretty much like, when I tell you, it's like, it's a prereq to what Mercury retrograde, is going to be, because it's in Gemini. Mercury retrograding in Gemini is a hot mess. Okay, it's a hot mess, but Mercury is retrograding in the air signs this year, so there's a lot going on in that regard. So we're starting off with the Knight of Swords, okay, the Page of Swords, the Three of Wands, and then we're ending the energy of this day is ending with the Five of Swords and the Two of Swords in reverse. Like, there's a lot going on. This eclipse is going to be a little bit of a journey. It's going to feel like a journey. It's going to feel like you started off with a whole entire different mindset, and then it had to shift. Okay, it had to shift. You have to break through some boundaries and actually, you know, make peace with some of the intentions that you set in the past that just are not, you know, are not in the best interest of you moving forward in the future. So there's a lot going on within our, you know, our mental energy, the decisions that we're making, the things that we're committing to, the mental breakthroughs that we're having, okay? And this is what I'm saying. There's a lot happening. There's a shift happening mentally, and Pluto's going to, again, assist with that trine. There's a lot happening within our transformations mentally, where maybe we were feeling one way about something the day before, and then through the eclipse energy, we do a whole 180, 360, and then boom, we're on the other side of the team, okay? So don't limit yourself. Even though, you know, it's Taurus season, and Taurus, you know, energy can be very stubborn. This is not the time to limit yourself. The way that the Oracle cards came out are very, very like to the point. We have patience and harmony, okay? Seek balance throughout this time, okay? Seek balance. If you are having a really hard time dealing with the energies and the way the energies are coming through, just seek balance. Try to be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. If you've changed your mind, that's fine. Change your mind. But just try to understand why you needed to do that, why it needed to happen, why it was meaningful, why it was required, okay? Be gentle with yourself during this time. Take it easy, okay? Take it a little easy. Make sure you're practicing self-care, because Taurus season, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself, your body, your eating, okay? Don't stress eat. Try not to stress eat during this time. Try to, you know, be clear of the sweets as well. Be mindful of this. We also have protection and boundaries, because there is a healthy amount of decisions that we will be making during this time, and some of those decisions might lead us to, you know, cutting some people out of our lives officially. It might lead us, or even some of our prayers, like if we're asking for protection on a daily, you might see some shifts in the people around you, especially if their behavior changed to some capacity. You might see some shifts there. So what I would say is just take it easy, protect yourself, focus on grounding your energy, okay? Because again, the Mercury energy, okay, the way this Mercury retrograde that's about to come up is gonna be something else. There is this like leading into confusion and misunderstandings. There is going to be miscommunication. There is going to be things popping off. So it's a good time to practice like a healthy amount of protection and distance as well. We are also getting hobbies. This is a great time for you to do things that you love to do, things that bring you, you know, light and, you know, just some level of peace, some level of just like calm, because this is a really good time, especially because again, Taurus is all about pleasure, is all about embodying Venus's energy in a very grounded way. So whether it be food, money, finances, possessing certain things, you might end up buying certain things. You might just, you know, want to, I don't know, you might want to start a YouTube channel where you just talk about things you buy or something, or do unboxings. I don't know. Or maybe you'll start, you know, one of those YouTube channels or something where you're just eating. One of those things. It could literally be so many different things. But this is a really good time to express yourself, especially with all of the Pisces energies as well. We have a Pisces stellium. It's a great time to be creative, great time to express yourself, great time to write music, reflect, whether spiritually or not. This is a great time for you to tap into that water element and actually like do something with it. Transmute the energy, okay? Transmute whatever you're going through, transmute it in a creative way, transmute it in a spiritual way, transmute it in an emotional way. Do what you need to do to release and process the mental chatter that's happening in your brain, okay? Then we have welcome anew, because eclipse season does bring on a hefty amount of shift and changes. So there's going to be things that are going to be like doom, ping-ponging a little bit. You just need to be a little bit, again, patient with yourself. Don't try to, you know, hold back too much from the things that are coming forth, especially if they have anything to do with the intentions you've been setting as of late anyway, because they might just be in alignment to each other. So try not to get in your own way of the newness that is coming in, and also try not to sit in mourning from the things that you had to release either, because you probably just outgrew it, and that's fine. Just accept the thing and move on into the new. Again, do not forget, this is literally the second season of the beginning of the astrological year. It's like, I know we're stuck on January and everything, but it's literally Aries season, this Taurus season. We're still welcoming this new year. We're springtime. y'all, it's springtime. Things are growing, flowers are blooming, okay? We're you know, getting the temperatures changing. There's a lot of things happening during this time. So you need to welcome the freshness instead of like wanting to stay stagnant, okay? Then we have spiritual growth, because there's a lot of spiritual growth happening during this time. You have been going through a big elevation, and because of that Pisces stellium, and because Neptune and Pisces rule spirituality, and Neptune is in Pisces right now, and there's a whole entire stellium right now, there is a focus on you elevating your practice, you elevating yourself, you feeling a little bit more grounded, you coming out of, you know, out of Taurus season in a way that you're just like feeling a little bit more you, feeling a little bit more within yourself. And that really comes down to you allowing yourself to get there, you allowing yourself the work that you've been putting in to get you there, for you to even notice a difference of, oh my God, you know what, I just noticed I've been feeling a lot different, I've been feeling a lot lighter, I feel a lot more like healed, or I feel a lot more like I've been more protected, I've been feeling, you know, like certain things can't get me. Like, y'all need to stay within your power, and y'all need to maintain it within your spiritual growth, and do not forget it. The next one, let go of anxiety, okay? Calm your nerves, and you'll be able to hear the voice of your angels. For some, lavender. For some of you who are going to be a little bit stressed out through eclipse season, it's totally understandable. Again, it is not necessarily the easiest time. Take it 1 hour at a time, and try to, again, focus and incorporate your self-care into this time period, because there are things that are going to happen and pop off, and you're going to need to react to the way that you are reacting. So if you're having like, you know, a whole entire panic attack, or you're breaking down about something, or you're stressed out about something, you're going to need to fall back on your self-care routine and make sure you're taking care of yourself during this time. If not, it's gonna get real chaotic, real messy, okay? We also got financial healing. Again, this is something that I mentioned within the Taurus energies, Uranus being in Taurus, and a lot of the financial changes that are happening. Your money struggles are a thing of the past. Be open to all avenues of receiving, and you'll be provided for in every way, because this is something that is highlighted for Taurus season. So make sure that you are not limiting yourself with the way abundance and prosperity flows to you as well. And then we have smile, because y'all, it's Taurus season. It's a Venus season. It's a Venus moon. It's a Venus eclipse. I mean, you're still going to have to fall back on the things that you love. Okay. Simply smile and notice the profound healing and difference it makes. Smile. Do things that make you happy for this eclipse. If your rituals for this eclipse is literally just you making yourself happy, you'll be fine. Focus on healing. Focus on self-care for this eclipse. That's what I'm going to say. I hope that y'all got all the messages you needed, and stay tuned for all of the videos coming through, because we're not we just getting started. Y'all know I just moved and I just got married, okay? I just got married, and you know, marriage life is a lot of fun. But there'll still be a lot of, you know, videos and content that you guys are about to get now that some of the other things and the stressors there's been like so much stuff going on in the past couple of weeks, but now that has calmed down a little bit, we can kind of get back to, you know, work and stuff. So I hope that y'all receive all the messages that you were meant to receive from this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Patreon below. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.